I have a question. I'm going to put you down right here real quick. So, one of the common things that I tend to see is people just need to get healthy. They aren't working hard enough. They don't want it bad enough. So, of course, they're not going to get insert whatever body, booty, abs, whatever it is that that particular person might be marketing. But there is so much more that goes into that. So I want to encourage you to read Fearing the Black Body, again, especially if you are in the health and wellness or the healthcare space, because you can see the origins of fat phobia in that particular reading. And it's really important to understand how the goalpost keeps moving. And I find that as someone who is in the health and wellness space as well as the healthcare space, is that language, that marketing, it is all pervasive. It spreads like wildfire. And the concept of healthism, which we are seeing a lot right now, is at the forefront of a lot of harmful things. And I have seen so many people develop eating disorders as a result of this, or people who have chronic illnesses or disabilities or lack the funds to be able to afford all of these quote unquote healthy or clean options. And it is very easy to be left feeling helpless and like there's nothing that you can possibly do. And I want to offer a different perspective of this from my personal experience growing up and getting into the field that I'm in, doing the things that I do, and how I support and help people. And I'm specifically calling out personal examples because A, it's my lived experience, and B, what other people doing ain't got nothing to do with me. And I'm gonna always keep other people's name out my mouth. So yeah, let's get into it. I needed to take a shower because we just ran through an open field running and playing, and the geese were there. And I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, I want to go back to when I was little, in the first grade specifically, and my mom worked nights. My best friend at the time and I would always pack a lunch. And when I tell you that fried chicken and spaghetti and the thermos mugs were Chef's Kiss top tier, top tier. But what I didn't realize at the time, that I only learned about when I got older and people actually told me who were my classmates, is that I didn't realize as a child how much of a luxury it was to be able to bring a lunch. And the beauty of growing up poor, low income, insert whatever you want to call it, is, sorry, the dog was trying to chew on something on the patio. I know what that was. Anyway, so we used to bring our lunches, but again, the thing about growing up low income, poor, what have you, is everybody was like that, and you didn't even think twice about it. And regardless of whether or not someone either didn't have their lunch or didn't have enough to purchase lunch, or even if they were still hungry after being able to have the free lunch, all of us would literally just put our food on the table, especially if there was something that we didn't like, and then the other kids could eat. And this was how I grew up. This was all of elementary school and most of middle school, honestly. And like, my teachers also used to do pizza parties all the time, not simply because, hey, we want to throw you a pizza party, you all did insert things. They would just randomly bring in pizza and all the kids would eat. And I think that that is something that needs to be highlighted, because we're about to see that resurgence of that even more now, as many programs have been taken away, stripped, cut, insert the thing. And because we are so focused on being individualistic, I mean, look at what's happening with the school supplies. We're losing the community mindset. I mean, honestly, we've lost the plot a long time ago, but there are so many opportunities for us to take care of each other, and we're not really and truly leaning into that. The other example is, insert a lot of Black kids, and how we used to play with water balloons and would open the fire hydrant in the summertime when we were younger, and then at least 3 to 4 people in the neighborhood would fire up the grill and put hot dogs on the grill so that we could all eat. Like, my mom would literally buy packs of hot dogs, not because I particularly care for them, but because she knew that the other kids, like, this is something that we did, and she wanted us to be able to contribute to that. That is another way that we would take care of each other. But then when you think about body image and how that also tends to come into play, because again, not everyone could afford all the things, not everyone could eat. Some people were eating a lot because they were stressed and doing all the things, and we would all get together, and we didn't always have a park at the school around the corner from me, so we would play freeze tag, we would play hide and go seek, we would ride our bikes together, we would do all of these things that allowed us to still move our bodies, because we didn't have access to the parks the same way that if you just literally cross the street into Grosse Pointe, the neighboring suburb, it was completely different. So I won't get into redlining in this particular video, but that is another example of that. And Detroit was, maybe is, I don't live there anymore, but it was very segregated, and it was very clear when you did or didn't belong. So we would often ensure that everybody had something to do, and that if a kid tried to bully someone else for their weight, like, there was never a time when we didn't come to their rescue. And I say that specifically because my brother, I wouldn't call him overweight. My mother used to call him husky. And then when he turned 16, all of that weight just dropped off. But let somebody else from a different neighborhood call my brother fat. no ma'am, no sir, no way, no how. And it is also because we had positive role models of what it looked like in my neighborhoods, in my community, of regardless of what your size was, you always look good. Like, people were always clean. Like, the kids, 9 times out of 10, they always look good. They always look clean. So for me, particularly when I went to high school, which was a college preparatory private school, I was thoroughly confused when I started experiencing when the girls were talking about, I don't want my butt to get too big, or, you know, my clothes are fitting too tight. And I would be looking in utter confusion because I'm like, you're a size 0. What do you mean? Is it a problem to gain weight? Like, I was confused, you know? And I would often hear girls say, oh my God, I don't want to have a butt. And I'm like, I stares backward. What's wrong with that? And so now, growing up in my neighborhoods and being around people who look like me, to now engage in people that were different, that is when it became very obvious to me that not only was the playing field not level, but different people had different perceptions of their bodies.